Okay, Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. I am Sabil Aisar as your moderator for today's discussion forum. The topic that we will discuss for today is unemployment among recent graduates. To begin with, I, as the moderator, will tell a little bit about the background of the study. Okay, so what is the meaning of unemployment? Unemployment means a situation where a person is looking for a job but is unable to find it. Next, there are many types of unemployment which are frictional unemployment, structural unemployment, and many more. For unemployment among graduates, it will be below frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment is caused by temporary transitions in workers' life, such as when workers move to a new city and have to find a new job. Frictional unemployment also includes people who have just entered the labor force, such as graduates. There is a lot of impact on employment, especially for the graduates. First of all, it will be difficult for them to face the world after studying because there is no sources of income. This is true in addition to the rising cost of living. Next is mental. Okay. Wait. Next is mental health problems. Unemployed people often experience a decrease in mental health problem compared to those who are employed. This is very dangerous and needs to be treated immediately. Last but not least, there is no doubt that unemployment among graduates will have a negative impact on the national economy. This is due to the lack of purchasing power due to the lack sources of income. Okay, next, to discuss in more detail about our topic today, I will first introduce our panels for today, which are Irfan, Zaidan, Harendra, and Firdaus. So, for the problem identification and aim for the study, I leave it to Irfan.
Okay, thank you to our moderator, Saudara Sabil, for the opening. For the problem of why undergraduate student is unemployment is firstly lack of technical and soft skill. Today, fresh graduates are expected to be fully equipped with the right skill and knowledge to instantly bring value to company, as company are not keen to train employee from scratch. According to employer and industry player, the majority of Malaysian fresh graduates lack the technical problem solving and soft skill that employer required to complete for job in Malaysia. As a result, the job market is highly competitive as only a handful of talent possess the right skill set to get hired. For the second problem is unrealistic salary and benefit expectation. Malaysia fresh graduates are well known for having an entire attitude while job hunting. This is reflected by the fact that fresh graduates are expected much bigger, much higher starting salary and benefit compared to the industry standard. Employers are often shocked by fresh graduate unrealistic expectation, considering that they have lower knowledge and expertise. For those that are not willing to settle for lower salaries, it purchases employees to hire other graduates who are willing to accept the market rate and have a good intention of learning. For the last problem is lack of digital skills. The world is experiencing the age of digitalization and automation. As such, digital skills such as digital marketing, big data analytics, and e-commerce are some of the most highly sought after skills in the job market. Why did digitalization create new jobs in Malaysia? Most Malaysian fresh graduates lack the right digital skill to fill that job. This has also contributed to the decrease in fresh graduate starting salaries in the competitive job market. For the aim of for the aim to resolve the unemployment fresh graduate is firstly put in place an action plan for improving employability of graduate at scale. Today, students expect the institution they attend to offer up-to-date support in all areas of their course, and there is no reason why postgraduate employability should be any different. With many of the suggestions within this article, facilitation one-on-one advice with a career advisor. Using technology could push you support out to a much wider audience, meaning that does all important tips and tricks can be shared with the entire student population. Anyone looking at how graduates could enhance their employability opportunities should investigate the availability of career development tools and software. There are many fantastic resources and areas to explore that all students will find useful, such as developing soft skills, looking into work placement opportunity, growing your personal brand. For the second aim is encourage volunteering. Another way to help add some personality to a student building their skill set is by suggesting that they volunteer some free time working at a local animal shelter, food bank, or charity organization. Offering student support with getting a volunteering position in a field that they are passionate about will benefit them massively, helping develop many soft skills. This can include problem solving, teamwork, effective communication technique, and time management. These skills are vital for graduate employability and are a great way to show prospective employer that they are taking the initiative to learn while offering up their free time, something which may help them stand out from the crowd when applying for a job. And for the last aim to resolve the problem is build work placement into student timetable. For the university, they should managing time as a student can be difficult task, juggling deadline, writing essay, attending lectures, and having an activity social life to mean that planning for the future is not always high on the student list priority. This is where a career advisor can come in and offer hands of support to boost graduate employability. Setting aside allocated time for work placement will give students a flavor of what life could be like working in their desired field. Arrange placement with the organization in question may also be an opportunity to offer students a foot in the door and start developing that's all important working relationship that will be invaluable once they have graduated. To conclude this problem MM, the student and government must play their enrollment to make sure all fresh graduates can be employment after they graduate from university. That's all from me. I will pass back my speech to our moderator Sadara Sabir.
Okay, thank you, Irfan, for the explanation. Okay, next, for the descriptive and inferential statistics, they have three parts. So for the first part, population or sample of the study, I would like to invite Zaidan.
Thanks for the moderator. Give me to talk about population and sample. Before I go to the article, I want to explain about the definition of population and sample. Uh, the definition of population is a collection of all individuals about which information is desired. It means we want to study about all individuals. There are two kinds of population, finite population and infinite population. Finite population is when the membership of a population that we can count, while the infinite population is when the membership is unlimited or we cannot count. Uh, So for the definition of sample, sample is a subset of population. It means the part of the population. It's not all individual. It's certain amount. Just we want to focus. So we go to the article. So for the, as we can see for the first paragraph, it show 5.36 million graduates in 2020 and 5.13 million graduate in 2019. It is population because it is all individuals that we want to focus, that we want to focus. So that is population. So for the sample, it 2002, 400 of them, or 4.4%, were unemployed in 2020, and 165,200 of them, or 3.9%, were unemployed. That is a sample because we just focus that certain amount only. So that is a sample for the first paragraph. So we go to the third paragraph. We can see 84.4% in 2020 and 86.2% in 2019 for marketability of Malaysian graduate. That is sample because it not all individuals. It just a certain amount that we want to focus. So that's all from me about the population and sample. I will pass back to the moderator.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Zaidan, for the explanation. So for the second part, define the type of data used in the article to investigate the problem. I pass to Harendra.
Thank you, Sabin. Now, I'll be talking about primary and secondary data. Now, I'll be defining the type of data used in the article to investigate the problem. For your information, this article used two types of data, which is primary and secondary data. For primary data, the first data collection technique is using Graduate Statistics 2020. The article references data from the Department of Statistics Malaysia, which is known as DOSM, specifically the Graduate Statistics 2020 report. This data includes the number of graduates in 2020, which is 5.36 million, and the percentage of unemployed graduates, which is 4.4%, compared to the previous year 2019's figures. The next technique to collect primary data is through conducting interviews. The article includes insights from interviews with respondents. These interviews provide qualitative data on the experiences and challenges faced by recent graduates. The respondents mention issues such as the inability to find opportunities in their chosen field of study, job compatibility issues, settling for part-time or mismatched jobs, and low pay. Now, I'll be sharing with you about the secondary data used in the article. The technique of data collection for the secondary data is by using a graduate tracer study. The article mentions a graduate tracer study conducted by the Ministry of Higher Education. This study provides data on the marketability of Malaysian graduates, indicating a drop of 1.8% to 84.4% in 2020 compared to the 86.2% in 2019. This decline is attributed to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Secondary data is also collected by government initiatives. The article mentions initiatives announced by the Ministry of Higher Education, which can be considered as data related to the government policies. These initiatives aim to address the declining marketability of graduates during the COVID-19 pandemic and include programs such as the KPT Career Advancement Program, Teaching Factory Program, TVET Transformation Program, Flexible and Micro-Credential Programs, and Mobility Programs. That is all from me now. Thank you. Now, I'll pass the session over to Sabin.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Harendra, for the explanation. Yeah, okay. For the last part, list all the variables together with their scale of measurement. I leave it to Firdaus.
Thanks to moderator. Now we go through with variable and scale of measurements. As we know, variable is a characteristic of interest about each individual element of population and sample. First one variable of interest from this case is gender. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, the employment rate among women, especially of graduate in Malaysia, has generally been higher than the rate among men in recent years. The employment rate among women was 4.8% compared to men, which is 3.9%. Rates of measurements is nominal and types of measurements is qualitative. Next variable is education level of graduates, which rate of measurements is ordinal rate. As we know, ordinal variable are used to categorize data that have a natural order, but the interval between categories are not necessarily equal. For example, in Malaysia, the employment rate among graduates also varies by level of education. Generally speaking, individuals with higher level of education have lower employment rates. For example, education level is categorized such as high school, diploma, degree, master, and PhD. The third variable of interest is age. According to Department of Statistics Malaysia, as of April 2022, the employment rate among graduates aged 18 to 24 was 11.3%, which is more than twice the overall national employment rate. Employment rates among those aged 25 till 29 and 30 to 34 were also relatively high at 5.7% and 4.4% respectively. From this case, rate of measurements is interval scale, which involves a quantitative variable. Next, an example of a rational variable related to employment among graduates in Malaysia could be the monthly income of employed graduates. This variable is a ratio variable because it has a true 0 point, meaning that an income of 0 indicates the complete absence of income. Additionally, the income variable can be measured on a continuous scale and can take any non-negative value. In Malaysia, individuals, especially graduates who are employed, may still receive financial assistance from the government, maybe or other source. So their monthly income could vary widely. Measuring the income of employed individuals could provide valuable insight into the economic impact of employment, as well as help policymakers design effective social safety net program to support those in need. That's all for me. I will pass back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Firdaus, for the explanation. So, in conclusion, there is a lot that we can learn from today's discussion forum. May it be useful to all. We want to apologize for any inconvenience. So, that's all from us. Thank you.